I need to take this sweater off because it's actually really hot where I'm at. I'm sitting across the street from the ABC liquor store. And I'm just sitting in my car charging my car. It's at 239 miles. My range goes to 267, I believe, but one day I had to go to 283, which was like bonkers because I had like a long shift and it really was a successful shift. But I'm not going to talk about my car. I posted a video up that my iPhone made into like a movie, and I don't know if you use that feature on your phone, but I like to watch those videos because I have so many videos and pictures sometimes, and I love how like a smartphone just takes those videos and mashes it up into something beautiful. But this year 2024 is my year of the number 8. You asked me how I get 8 in 2024. 4 plus 4 is 8, so 2024, that equals 8, the infinity sign. So I feel like whatever I come across, not even whatever I come across, but this is the year where whatever I do, however I do it, will be stamped and set in stone. So like I'm really just vibing out and getting to understand my mind and my energy and the way I think and why I think and how I feel when I think this way, and what happens when I neglect my mind and my thoughts and my mind and my body and I don't go with my gut. A lot of us don't go with our gut feelings. A lot of us don't follow our intuition. A lot of us don't even know that we have an intuition. And then once we know that we have an intuition, we don't use it correctly. We don't use it in a way that it benefits us the most, the way that God intended it to. But however, lately I have been tapping into it on a deeper scale and on a higher level, and I'm really getting this don't give a fuck energy. For those of you who know me close and in depth, very personally, interpersonal, you know that I let people walk over me. You know that I let people get away with murder even though I watched them blatantly disrespect me to my face. And it's not the fact that I can't stand up for myself, but I always believed in this thing called karma. And karma don't miss nobody. Good karma, bad karma, it don't miss nobody. It goes to who it's supposed to go to. So a lot of the times before I react or think negatively, I mean, it's not even about reacting like physically. To me, when I say react, it means even to have the thought. Because once you have the thought, it's already created. It already happened in your mind. So I avoid that. That's where I am disciplining myself at, in my mind and my body and my soul and my spirit. Because I really believe that I am a light being on this earth. I really believe that when people are around me, they are protected. They're in my protection. I have a divine force field set over me and the people that I love. And once I remove myself from people, things start to happen to them. Not that I wished it on them, which that's what they may feel at times, because based on maybe their conscience or the way they've been to me, they know they haven't been so well of a friend or family or cousin or relationship partner, all of that. So just recently, I took a trip down memory lane. And I started to think about all of the things that I wanted to acquire and do when I was in the most hardest places in my life. And I couldn't say shit really about it because nobody will understand me, for one. And again, which is number 2, but it's on a deeper scale, nobody would understand me. They wouldn't be able to say any encouraging or inspiring words to uplift me, because I knew that I was the only person in my family bloodline that was experiencing all the things that I experienced. And I know how heavy influence is on people. You know, not just to say that's any influence, but the wrong influence and how detrimental it could be to a person who have a life's journey, a life path to complete. I didn't want to do that to myself. So a lot of the times I kept stuff bottled in. And I felt like for the first half of my life, that was beneficial. You know, it was lessons and stuff that I had to learn, and was teaching me discipline and patience and understanding and knowledge and pain and all that stuff, which will then help inform and accumulate a big ball of wisdom. But once I made it over on the other side, And I realized that the things that I was so scared of, when you were a kid, you were afraid of the dark. You seen something underneath the bed, or you felt something touch your leg, or you hear a bedtime story. Now you don't want to go to sleep in your own bed. That's kind of how I envision my life. Like, I always envisioned my life as like some sort of game that I was playing. I never looked at reality as like just a leaf being a regular leaf, or the sun being the sun. I always, in my mind, I grew up so poor. And when I say poor, I don't mean in my spirit. My spirit has always been rich. When I say I grew up poor is in a sense of I was forced to use my imagination, because my reality that I was set in my life, there was no way that I could change it in those moments when I was realizing what my life actually was and what it was to become, what I knew it was to become. So I had to patiently wait and literally put my faith in God, because there was nothing else that I could truly do. You know what I mean? And I mean that on so many levels. But just recently, I thought back. That's why I shared the video. I was thinking to myself, like, there was a point in time where I thought in my mind, like I told you, when you see something in your mind that already happened, I thought in my mind that, I had my sisters with me, and I had my nieces with me, and we was going somewhere. I didn't know where we was going, but I had them with me. I would have like these premonitions, these deja vu moments, these whatever you calling it nowadays. I would see these things, and due to the fact that I went through so much strife in my past 4 years, after losing my mom, I really haven't been in that space to really think about the things that I wrote down and letters that I wrote to myself, and just goals and plans and stuff like that. Not until recently. Something came over me one day. I forget what happened. The darnest things happen to me. I have so many spiritual encounters with earth angels all the time, people that I meet and then I never see them again, but the impact they leave in my heart, that shit stays with me. The other day I just started feeling like enough is enough, and this is not for me to go viral or anything like that. Like, I just literally like to speak. I make my videos and I live my life according to me simply being a messenger to a person, the same way people have been messengers to me that gave me that push, or they say the exact perfect thing in the right way as to where I am touched by it, and it gives me goosebumps in order to change a certain thing about me and myself, and only they could do it. You know how sometimes we be looking for that, that confidant, that person that we could confide in and be vulnerable with, and we feel like it's somebody that it needs to. We choose the person where we feel like it should come from. Because I know one thing that I'm talking about right now, and anytime I give advice, I'm always talking about myself. So I remember I used to feel like that a lot about my mother. My mother has taught me so many lessons, and I think about her more now than ever, but it's in like a different way. Like, she's the epitome of me, like, or I am the epitome of her, however you say it. But we are like one. She had this little prayer that she would always say to me: I am you, you are me. She wrote on a piece of paper one day and she put it on the refrigerator. I never forget, she watched this video. I think she watched it on YouTube and she told me to watch it. But the connection and bond that I had with her in the kitchen that day, like, I wasn't led to watch the video. And now that I'm talking about it, I think I'm going to actually search it up because of the space that I'm in right now. I'm going to watch the video. But I remember I was watching one of my mentors, and she would like literally be speaking in my life verbatim, like the stuff that I was going through verbatim. There was no way. And I never met her. She never met me. We never had any encounters. She's all the way in Toronto, Canada, and I'm here in the United States of America. So it was just like, God has to be real. Not that I wasn't convinced or didn't believe before, but I know he has something over me. And it's these numbers that I've been seeing. I remember my dad told me not to look too deeply into that. But like I said, you have to know how to eat the meat and throw the bones, spit out the bones. I've been seeing 1 and 7 in any form that you could possibly imagine it being in. And it's weird because at the age of 17 was the last year of my, I'm not going to say virtue or pureness, but I will say naiveness. And that's when I had to grow up. But that's all I'm going to say in this video.